Tyler, here we are. Football season is upon us. But, just from last year, certainly with teams, expectations change. And also within real estate, expectations can change. There's been some pretty big changes in the last 12 months in real estate, haven't there?
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on and changes. And I think a big thing is last year when we were talking on the radio, we were always talking about the distressed inventory. And it's down 20%. The inventory is across the nation, which is, that's a good chunk of it. And
there's not a lot of that out there anymore.
No, especially in these Bellevue, Seattle markets, you're not seeing a lot. And then when you're seeing the REO properties, they're getting multiple offers on them. So whatever they did, their strategy, I think it really worked. It didn't really deflate prices at all, and they kind of trickled in, and it worked out well. And I think a majority of the people that had to short sale that were really hurt with these bad loans have gone ahead and done that.
Remember talking about the shadow inventory?
Oh,
how many houses have been foreclosed on that are going to come on the market? And it's really funny to think about all the different topics we covered.
Yeah, we were waiting for that bubble to burst of all this shadow inventory, and it just kind of seemed like it faded away.
It never really came, did it?
No.
Is it still there?
Well, there is a lot more of them that have hit the market, but the delinquent loans and all those that they thought were going to go to foreclosure didn't really come about.
And now prices have gone up to the point where a lot of people can just sell.
Yeah, that's a big part of it too.
What about, of course, at that point in time, nobody expected the appreciation we saw over the last maybe 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, it's been good. The multiple offers definitely have helped with that. And we've seen, like we talked on the last show, prices have gone up 4.2% in King and Pierce County on average. And the median price in King and Pierce County has gone up $50,000 over the last 12 months. So some good appreciation there.
Hopefully you own a house.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, when you talk about the appreciation, it's you bring in King and Pierce County. That's a big difference, though, than when you just look at maybe a Bellevue or Seattle where you have these real hubs.
Yeah, those are definitely actually, if you look city by city, you'd say those were the outliers because those are going to be the top gains there.
Yeah. Do you see that a lot of people are still trying to get into those areas? Has it pushed some people out?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that we're still getting, calls from people that are joining Amazon and they want to be close to work, and that's contributing a lot of those sales over there on the East Lake and Lake Union part over there. So people are always going to want to be in the city. Maybe it's people that are retiring, or it's people finishing up out of college and going to pay that extra high rent and want to be over there. So,
do you see that? So of course, a year ago or 2 years ago. 1 year ago, Amazon didn't seem to have this huge hiring frenzy. They were kind of starting, but I don't remember Amazon being such a topic of discussion as far as filling up housing a year ago.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it's taken off up there. I've heard numbers as high as hiring 100 people a week, and if you drive by over there by Mercer, you're seeing all the new buildings in there. It's just chaos. And
Mercer's still chaos. That has not changed over the course of the last year. They have put some stoplights in, and you still can't get down Mercer.
Yeah, and I still don't really know how to get to that Fairview Street to get to the old Hooters location there. It's kind of tough to find.
Oh, but why would you go anymore, Tyler?
No, we settle on Joey's now.
No more wings. So why would you go watch football there?
Yeah, it's all to find a good football venue. Bring it back to that, right?
That's what I do. That's why I always went to Hooters. Tyler Freed joins us, and we are off the tracks here. Also off the tracks, interest rates have certainly changed. When you start considering what's gone on in interest rates over the past year. A year ago, we were a broken record talking about how they're at all-time lows again and again and again, and they kept going lower and lower.
We were right.
Yeah,
they should have taken our advice. So people are kind of getting off the fence now with rates going up from 3.5 to 4.5 and trickling towards 5% now, and I think they're going to continue to go. We saw a stat that someone that bought a $400,000 house last year at 3.5% interest rate, the home today, the interest rate would be 4.5%, and the home's value would have gone up to about $420,000, $425,000. That's a $300 a month payment increase just for waiting 12 months.
Yeah, and it seems like we've talked before about the herd mentality, but nobody was willing to go against the herd back then. It was just a little slower. People were very fearful of what it might mean to buy a house.
Yeah, I think, there's just so many people out there that are waiting on the fences and speculating what the market's going to do. And, it's not always a bad thing. There's, history tells us that, everybody kind of went in and like you said earlier, 06, 07, got to have a house. I don't care where it is. I don't care if I have to fix it up. I don't care if I waive my inspection. I got to have a house. And we saw that kind of happen. So,
well, then, a year ago it was, I got to have a perfect house. We were talking about turnkey homes. To buy, if you want to sell your house, you have to make it perfect. There could be zero issues. It has to have perfectly brand new hardwood floors, and right. I mean, that was our discussion. Now it's like throw it on the market, and I mean, in some ways,
yeah. And because we talked about earlier too, is the location's a big part of it. People are going to buy for the location, and maybe that is the factor that jumps them over trying to find that 100% house. I don't think anybody's going to find the 100% house anymore.
Yeah,
unless you want to build something.
But that's what people were looking for. And, a year ago, they were almost able to take their time to do that.
Yeah. Now there's not enough inventory to do that. The sense of urgency's picked up from all the other buyers. So.
Yeah. And sellers had to get creative a year ago, and now buyers are having to get creative.
We had, we had an attorney come in, and he was kind of telling us some other stuff that's going on. And, of course, they get all the stories, and it's always fun to hear. There was people that were bidding on houses, and they were actually giving sellers a check for $100,000. Accept our offer, here's $100,000. Made it out to them, which, I always thought was illegal, but it's technically a lot. That $100,000 would just go towards their down payment, and then they'd get it back if they didn't accept their offer. But that's a little more motivation for a serious buyer.
A personal check for $100,000?
Yeah. Nuts, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and then I've had actually lost some buyers too. We were searching around Lake Tapps area, kind of where I live, and we couldn't find a place. I mean, we were putting offers in and missing out, and they actually they researched a neighbor of a vacant lot and then contacted him and then did a for sale by owner there. So it's crazy, the desperation and just the way they're getting creative to get these homes and take advantage of the times.
Yeah. Now, let's talk also about new construction because, 24 months ago, I mean, it was like dead, right? Builders were going into bankruptcy. It was a dead time. A year ago, it kind of started to come back, and now it's like builders are literally just trying to get land. I mean, that's been a huge transition, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just been gangbusters. Yeah, like you said, 2 years ago, they were giving away, $10,000 in option upgrades and just buying down your rates just to get you into the homes. And now it's we'll give you $5,000 if you're lucky, kind of thing. And here's a pre-sale lot that we're going to build when we're ready to build. Put your name in and take a reservation. I mean, new construction sales are up 25% in the last 12 months. They're just going gangbusters.
Yeah. Tyler Freed joins us, branch manager at Windermere Real Estate Lake Tapps. So, Tyler, what do you see then? That kind of covers the last 12 months. Lots of changes. You had to be really current on it. What do you see over the next 12 months?
It's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens with, like you were talking about, the appreciation is going to come into effect. So people are going to be able to get out of the red and be in an opportunity to buy. And with rates going up, let's see how much that affects the buyers out there. We're still seeing a lot of investors, a lot of cash people coming in. I know Jared's going to talk about the rents increasing, and they're getting in there and they're buying these places and just renting them out. So I think that's going to continue to grow and be a part of the buying population.
Do you think that as prices have gone up, I know that 5 years ago, everybody had talked, or maybe 7 years ago, everybody talked about the baby boomers were all going to sell all their houses in the suburbs. Everybody's going to move into the city. That was like a big discussion.
Yeah.
Do you think that now that may happen? Do you think that there's going to be a lot of those buyers who are out in the suburbs, or sellers who are out in the suburbs? Prices have kind of come back, although maybe now it's time to make that move.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that happens. We're seeing a lot of these 55 and older communities going. Redmond Ridge, they had a really good success over there. And then down south, they got Jubilee. And over in Bonnie Lake, they got Tehillah. They've got the Shea Homes is just doing really good building these. And those are kind of the leaders in the new construction. They're building a ton of homes, and it's the baby boomers trying to get, retire and get into, a place where they've got their activities, whether it be golf or fishing or whatnot surrounding them.
Sounds like fun. I would like to move to a 55 and older community.
I'll tell you what, my parents got one down in Arizona.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you got 3 golf courses nearby, swimming pools, and
drive your golf cart around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of brilliant.
Yeah, you could do that, and then you could just watch fantasy football all Sunday, and just life would be complete.
Yeah, right. No, my wife and I are like, it sounds like going back to college.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. Well, here we are. We're retired, semi-retired, or whatever, and now we go back, and now we live in this huge community of our friends.
Yeah, back to the frat house.
Back to the animal house, right? Out on the golf course every day.
Life.
I think they need like a 35 and older group.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. I mean, would it work? This is. Could you discriminate that way in real estate? Hey, we just want you to know this neighborhood is for the ages of 35 to 45, and you have to have 2 kids or something, and also babysitters are invited.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be fun,
wouldn't it?
We got to figure a way around that.
I would love to have a community where there was just babysitters.
There we go.
You have a new kid. Jared's got a new kid. I mean, imagine a 35 to call it a 30 to 40-year-old community. And all and this of course makes sense to all the dads out there who are between 30 and 40 that had a golf course in back and babysitters all the time.
Yeah, if you could just have a babysitter on call, life would be a lot easier.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Where do they all go?